Welcome to Under the Same Sky. I am Angelina Wang. In the last episode, we explored the lives of the Chinese immigrants during the California gold rush. After the gold rush, the Chinese community expanded and second-generation immigrants were born. Yet these children did not escape anti-Chinese sentiment. Public schools refused to admit them. Good education was an exclusive right to Caucasians. The repressed Chinese parents fought for the educational rights of their children. In this episode, we will explore their path and appreciate the work of our predecessors, who fought hard for the rights that our children enjoy today.
This ancient Christian hymn was written in the 8th century in Ireland. That was during the Tang Dynasty, when Christianity was first introduced in China. The original hymn was written in Irish and later translated into English and then Chinese. Christian faith and a vision drove many missionaries to China. During the California Gold Rush, many Chinese crossed the ocean to Gold Mountain. Missionaries also seized this opportunity. In 1852, the Presbyterian Church sent William Spear, who lived in Guangdong and spoke Cantonese, to San Francisco's Chinatown.
His thought was that if we can Christianize a number of Chinese here in the United States, these people would one day return to China and Christianize their brethren in China.
Spear believed that education was an important tool to becoming a Christian.
If we can make these people more American, we will in the process be making them more Christian.
The Presbyterian Church established the Occidental School in Chinatown. The school later accepted government funds and was renamed the Chinese School in 1859. It eventually became the Gordon J. Lau Elementary School in 1998, and it stands today.
It was originally called the Chinese School. It's one of the oldest schools in San Francisco.
Education for Chinese immigrants started as early as the 19th century. During the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the public schools refused to admit Chinese students. As the students grew up in Chinatown, their only choice was to go to schools established by church missionaries, or Chinese schools in Chinatown. In Chinatown, there were several historical churches. The churches not only established schools, but helped women and children.
It's interesting that there are very few converts, even though the Christian churches have been so active, but immigrants and women and children were able to take advantage of these services and of the educational opportunities that were afforded them through the church.
Many mistook Mary McGladdery Tape as a Caucasian because of her name, but she was a Chinese orphan adopted by a female missionary and inherited the missionary's last name. She received her education in a San Francisco church.
And so I suspect that her education and the fact that she was, kind of mentored by Mary McGladdery and other missionary women at the Relief Society is the reason for why she was so westernized and so outspoken and such a strong Christian.
Mary Tape's husband, Joseph Tape, had a transportation business. He immigrated to the United States in 1869. Like his wife, he received his education from a Presbyterian church. He became an interpreter to the Imperial Consulate of China in San Francisco. In 1892, a San Francisco newspaper interviewed the Tape family. The reporter was astonished at the couple's fluent English and Mary Tape's talents. Mary Tape was different from her contemporaries. She was an amateur artist and a photographer. The Tape family lived just outside Chinatown in San Francisco. Mary Tape learned how to telegraph messages to her husband from home. The intelligent and outspoken mother educated her children in the Western fashion. Her 4 children spoke fluent English and played musical instruments. Her oldest daughter, Mamie, played piano.
She was always dressed in American clothes. Her mother and father, raised her as any American child. They were probably bilingual.
According to press reports, although the Tapes were born Chinese, everything else about them was thoroughly American. Mamie Tape was not even aware of her difference from other Caucasian children until she was 8 years old, when something happened that rewrote the history of Chinese education in the United States.